Hey guys, this is Chris Fayte with Cheat the Game coming back at you, and coming back at you this time with a two-part part. Basically what it is today we're going to find our coordinates, and I'm going to show you different things that you can do with the coordinates. Now in this first part here, we're going to concentrate on super jump. I'm also going to show you a fly hack that you can make out of the same opcode that we're going to use for our super jump. Basically, it goes a little different than what I showed in my previous tutorial, which I'm going to put all the tutorials up here, the super jump, the fly hack, and also my teleport. And the second part is going to be the teleport. But for this first part here, instead of finding our height ceiling, we're going to manipulate gravity, and when gravity takes a hold of us. The first part on our super jump, we're going to reach a certain height, and then we're going to have gravity kick in again to bring us back down. In the second, for the fly hack, we're going to increase the level of our height ceiling, or how high we can go, and we're going to keep it there, where you can move around and things like that up in the air. And I'm going to show you both. And now this technique doesn't work for every single game, but it's certainly worth a try. To give that in most of the games that you play. You may be able to find it this way. Like I say, it's not the way to find gravity, but it's a way you can possibly find it. And if you can find gravity, you can do a lot better in manipulating super jump and your fly hack together. So let's go ahead, let me get to that part where we look up our coordinates, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I already went to the location where we're going to start finding our coordinates, and right off the bat I'm going to go ahead and thank the guys over at guidedhacking.com. This is where I got this particular technique. This was from an older video, an older tut from Fayte, the originator of guided hacking. Rake has now taken it over now and does a great job with it. So go check those guys out. Tell them Chris Fayte from Cheat the Game said hello. But what we're going to do is we're going to get onto the chain where you climb up, and that's we're going to find our Y coordinates. That's our north and south, our up and down coordinates. And usually being on the chain or being on a ladder is what I recommend, because it keeps your X and Z coordinates steady, where they don't show up, and it weeds out a lot more addresses a lot quicker. You don't have to do it that way, but it's a lot easier if you do it that way, and that's what I recommend also. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to go ahead and get on that. There's the chain right there, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab a hold of it. Let's go up just a little bit, and what we're going to do is go ahead and go to our float. You're going to find your coordinates just about every time on a float value. And we're going to go unknown because we don't know exactly what that value is at present. Now I've set everything to hotkeys, and I recommend that you do that. It makes the searching process a lot easier. And clean out my RAM while it's doing that. And everybody's been asking me what this program is, and I try to mention it as much as possible because I thoroughly recommend it. It's Advanced System Care by Iobit, I-O-B-I-T, and it does really good. So as you can see here, it's keeping up with like 1.6 billion addresses, so it's going to lag a little bit on you until you start weeding these addresses down. Help keeping the RAM clean a little bit will speed things up a little bit more for you, but it'll still be kind of sluggish when it's keeping up with that many addresses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and go increase value. So match a hotkey. I don't know how long that's going to take, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it while it does that. Alright, so as you see here, we got 5.3 million, and addresses are still changing, so we're going to go ahead and clean some of that out with unchanged value. Let's go back to the game, and we're just going to go up a little more, increase value, go up a little more, increase value, unchanged, don't move. And you see it's weeding them down fairly quick. Now let's go down, decrease value, down, decrease value, unchanged. Now back up. Hey, you get the idea. So we're just getting down to a few we can try. So I don't really know where we are right now, so let's go ahead and jump back down. And we know that's decreased value. Don't move, unchanged. Alright, that's good. I don't know why it keeps popping that up. And back to cheat engine. Let's take a look at what we got here. Now we got tons and tons of stuff here, so we have no clue what we're looking for. So usually you're just going to have to use the process of elimination. We know that most of these are just going to be our, Y coordinates, our X and our Z. We weeded out because we stayed on the chain that did not affect X and Z. So, let's take a look. Well, maybe we need to weed a few more down, because if I get to doing that now, alright, we're going to increase value down to 132. Let's go up a little bit. Okay, looks like that's what we're going to have to do here. Alright. Alright, so decreased. Alright, let's just take a look. And what I like to do is I like grabbing things that are like this and giving those a shot. What I do is I go ahead and freeze those values, and I'll set it up to something like a lot higher than what it is, and see if it makes any kind of change in there. Oh, good. Looks like we might have found it, so we'll just use the process of elimination. Looks like it's that bottom one right here. Oh, that was quick. Good. And you got to be careful doing that, because you could crash your game. So what I do is I look for light things, and then I just go from there, and it's hit or miss. So since we found it, we're just going to go ahead and continue on. We know that this is our Y coordinate. So what I want to do right off the bat is let's see what's writing to it. Now just know that your X, Y, and Z are usually almost 99.9% of the time always going to be together. 4-byte difference on an offset. So alright, good. Looks like we're hitting at 80 right now. What I want to do is I want to see the addresses that are being wrote to at that particular opcode. So let's just... Alright, very good. There we go. Now you see here we got a different value than what our Y coordinate is. I'm going to go ahead and label that Y coord, which is our up and down. So we don't know what this coordinate is. Okay? So we need to see. So what I want to do is I'm going to lock that in. We can still jump. We see that ain't Y. I'm going to try to move up. So we know that's either our X or our Z. It don't really matter which one it is. It don't matter what you call it. It's just a name. So for right now, I'm just going to consider that my X coordinate. So we know since that's between 0 and 8, and since we assume that they're all together, our Z coordinate has to be a 4. Or what we're calling Z coordinate. My bad. Well, I don't know why I did that. So actually, let's do it like this. Let's go ahead and assume that the Z coordinate is the up and down in this particular game, because usually that's what it is. But on the last value, it would be the 8, which would be our Z coordinate. We want to lock that into place, and what I want to do is I want to change this address to 4. So I want to copy this down. Alright, and then let's change that to 4. Put it on a float. Like I say, these are just names. These are our X, Y, and Z coordinates, but sometimes some games use Z coordinate for up and down. Sometimes they use the Y coordinate for up and down. And it don't really matter. I usually call it the Y coordinate because that's just what I'm used to, but it don't matter what you call it. Now, with all 3 of them locked, excuse me, I'm sorry. With all 3 of them locked, we should not be able to jump. We should not be able to move left, right, or up or down. Okay, so let's try it. No matter which way we go, we should just keep coming back to the same place, and you see we do. So that is our X, Y, and Z coordinate because we can't move anywhere. Okay, so that's what we want to use. I want to go back to our north and south coordinate, which is now we're calling our Z coordinate. Make sure I got all the debuggers taken off. We don't need this debugger anymore. What I want to do now is I'm going to try to find and see if I can find anything that might be in control of our gravity. So I'm going to do that by what accesses this address. Go back to the game, we jump. I want to jump again a few times and see anything that may be and I look for things like subtractions or adding and things like that. Does that necessarily work all the time? No, it don't. But that's what I like to start with. So I'm going up here, and we're going to show that in the disassembler. I'm just going to take a look at it, and what I want to do is I start knopping them out and seeing if that makes any kind of a difference whatsoever. Oh, take a look. Boom. That somehow, some way, gravity is being affected by that opcode. So if that opcode is knocked out, then we just start floating up in the air as soon as we jump. So now we can use this opcode to get our super jump and also use it for a fly hack. Okay, so let's go ahead and restore, make sure our infinite health is on, because if we fall at a great height we will die and have to start all over again. We don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and stop that and close that on out for right now. Replace with the original code, and with that back on we should come back down. There we go. Good. Alrighty. Sorry, I got direction disoriented there for a second. I'm going to go where we got a little more room if I can. Well, I don't look like I got much room anyway. That's alright. I don't want to get over into the stealth area, because then we'll have more problems. So what I want to do is go ahead and let's go ahead and start with our super jump. Now you see, if we knock this out and jump, we're just going to keep rising until we just go all the way to oblivion. Okay, so we need to tell it to stop at a certain height. Okay, so we see right now that the height is 9. So if we go up in elevations, that height that we go, if we put it at 15 and we go up to say 11, then we're going to be jumping normal height. So you got to take that in consideration when using a gravity type ceiling. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do an AOB injection, and right now we're going to call this SJP1 for super jump. Let it do its thing. There we go. So what I want to do, since I know we're at 9 right now, I'm going to have it compare at this address. I'm going to have it compare to a float 20. So what that means is, if when this coordinate reaches a 20, we want gravity to kick back in. So I'm just going to put that on here. I'm going to knock out that. When that reaches 20, we want it to jump if greater than or equal to code, where it kicks back on. And that'll bring us back down. Okay, so let's do that. Let's assign that to the current cheat table. We'll just call that super jump test. Let's go try her out. Make sure there's nothing above us that can stop us. And what I want to do is just jump straight up into the air, and we come back down. See that? Look at that. So now we're going in the areas we can't, but see, now we're at a higher elevation. Take a look at that. So what's it going to do from here? It's going to jump normal. So we got to keep that in mind. You may want to do some more compares, you know, for elevation. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to do that here. I just want to show you how we can manipulate gravity for a super jump. Most of the game I know already that you're going to be towards your 0 level, like when you're on the ground and everything. So not the best super jump in the world, but it's not bad. Okay. Now we're going to make a fly hack out of the same thing. So let's go back down. Alright, this time we don't want gravity to kick in. So now we got our super jump. What we want to do is we just want to copy this whole thing. Now we cannot use both codes at the same time. We're going to make a new one, auto assemble. We're not going to hit a template or anything. We're just going to use the same thing, except this time we're going to knock out this gravity. So what's to stop us from going further up? Well, what we want to do is we want it to compare the height we want to go to. I'm going to say 30. And then when it reaches that height, we're going to move that height into our value to keep it there. Because we know this is storing our Z coordinate, which in this game is our height. So I want it to move that float 30 into there with gravity still off. Or this not triggering gravity in any way. It's just moving. It's comparing that, and as soon as it hits that, it's just going to keep moving 30 into there, 30, 30, 30, over and over and over again, which keeps us at that height. We should be able to walk around like we want to, because it's not affecting our X and our Y coordinate. Okay? So we assign that to the current cheat table, and we're going to put in fly hack test. Okay? Let's go ahead and turn that on. Now it won't activate until we jump. As soon as we jump though, it's going to activate because it's only affecting our Z coordinate, our up and down. So let's jump. Let's see what happens. And take a look. We stay here. And it's just writing over and over and over again 30. But you see, we can move about freely. And it makes a fairly decent little hack, fly hack there. I think I like the fly hack better than I like the super jump. And if you want to go higher, you just, you would just set both of these higher. Let's say 40. Click OK. Turn it off and back on. And take a look. We're going up higher, see? And if you wanted it, to be like really fly hack, or really high, you can go up to like 80. I don't know about 80. Let's try 60. You can just experiment and see what you like. No, it's not written in stone. That's what we do. We just play around until we hit something we like. And you can see we can move over buildings. I know we don't move very fast. And you can just fly around all you want. Now this is just a little map because this is the tutorial map. So now we're hitting a collision field. So we need to go around that collision field. We can raise it up even more. Let's see what it looks like at 80. Let's get back to the game. Take a look. Now we're a lot higher. Screw it. Let's really test it. Let's put it at 150. That ought to be interesting. Well, that didn't really do nothing, did it? We were up high, that's for damn sure. Let me, uh-oh. Let's turn that back off. Now let's turn it back on and see what happens. Alright, let's go back up. Now this is at 150, so let's see what it does. Let's see how high it goes. Now the map may have a ceiling to it that's... well, it don't appear to. I was about to say it may have a ceiling that's less than 150. If that's so, then you're only going to go as high as the map will let you go. Oh, that's really high. Take a look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's a fly hack. But you see what we did there. And that's how to do the fly hack, is you got to turn what's manipulating gravity and make sure it stays at the height you want it to. Okay? But that's all for this one. Like I say, I do have other ways to do a fly hack and a super jump that I'm going to pop up over here. I'm going to go ahead and start the teleport hack, but I'm going to do that in the next vid. You can click on it. I'll put a link right here for you to click on, and you can go straight to it, or you can watch it some other time. I just didn't want this one to be super long because the teleport hack's going to take a little more time because it's a big script. Okay, so I'll see you in the teleport hack vid.